The PP19 has an unfortunate mix of stats. A quick review would sound like this.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
But, despite on paper having the least relevant stat distribution in the game, in reality I would still pick it over a few other weapons. Let's see why. The PP19 places 4th last on the time to kill summary chart. This is a big red flag for its viability, as it's an SMG, which are close range focused weapons. Yet, it loses against most other guns in a fair fight, and it sits amongst longer range weapons in terms of time to kill, all of which tend to avoid close quarter fights. I'll compare the PP19 to the MP5, M4, and to itself above 40 meters. The MP5 is its closest rival. Both are close range focused guns with almost no recoil. However, the MP5 has much better time to kill stats. One big advantage the PP19 does have over the MP5 is reload speed. The MP5's main downside is a slow full reload. But despite this, the MP5 feels much better than the PP19 to me, due to its much better close range time to kill. The M4 is comparable with the PP19 in terms of time to kill. The PP19 does do better against unarmoured, but now let's look at the big flaw the PP19 has due to its damage stat of 25. The second you shoot over the damage drop-off of 40 meters, the PP19 will deal 24.99 damage, gaining additional bullets to kill. And this is where the PP19 really looks weak. I'll discuss this more in the gameplay section. But for now, here's my loadout. Use a one-time sight of your choice. This weapon's magazine should always be quick mags, once you unlock it, because for some reason, this quick mag reduces horizontal recoil and reload time. I run the short suppressor, but I will note the long suppressor is good too, as it barely adds to the horizontal recoil, but it slows down aim down sight and move speed. I use the shift short angled grip, which is unconventional, as it increases horizontal recoil, but the PP19 is so controllable it doesn't matter. The ERK grip offers slightly quicker reload speed, but it also decreases aim and move speed slightly. Both are viable. So, the reason I dislike the PP19 stats so much is that it offers the lowest damage out of all the close range focused weapons, and then offers great controllability as an upside. However, it immediately becomes worse than carbine and assault rifles past 40 meters, due to its damage drop off stat immediately adding an extra bullet to kill to an already slow weapon. This means that its last pick for a close quarters SMG, and its main upside of controllable recoil just doesn't matter due to its awful damage fall off value. If you think about the assault rifle equivalent of this gun, the AUG, it is once again bad in close quarters, but has 150 meter damage drop off, meaning it can actually use its controllability advantage to shoot at range. The PP19 can similarly shoot much further than all close range guns, but due to its time to kill, which is already poor up close, it simply becomes a worse assault rifle. Also, the PP19 is an SMG, meaning it gets the weak 1.2 times headshot multiplier. This is really the nail in the coffin in terms of viability. A low recoil gun does mean easier headshotting, but the PP19 only deals 5 bonus damage to heads, which is not a significant amount to change its time to kill for better, especially if you account the fact that some people may wear helmets. This makes it even worse compared to ARs and carbines. So, why is this gun not my pick for worst gun in the game? Well, simply put, any low recoil gun is okay at killing enemies if your aim is good. And the one redeeming factor I do like about this gun is its reload speed is very fast. This is obviously not enough to save it, but the PP19 has good uptime for extended fights. Whilst there's never a situation I'd recommend picking it in, I would rather use the PP19 than a couple of other guns that I've yet to review. Overall, you should never use this weapon. Get in the bin.
Know your fucking place, trash!
Here's some good clips I caught with the PP19, including a funny one of dealing with someone who went full bushrat and failed. Enjoy. Yeah, I don't like that, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know.